All right.
Yeah.
We are live right now, so if I can get everybody to kind of get this channel posted out real quick, I'll give everybody a link.
Where are we posting it?
Wherever, all over the place, wherever you have the availability to post it. Let me post it real quick. We should have done this. I need to have Buttercup come on and make a actual pre 10 minutes so we can get everything properly set up and post everything, or links and all that. Where is my podcast team? There it is. Alright, let me run this down to... I'm going to post onto the main Discord server, or maybe 8 wide if you want to post it on our video, because you're going to have more influencers, I believe.
I'm sorry, what?
Can you post that link that I posted onto our podcast team and post it under the actual creation tab on the main YouTube channel or the main Discord channel?
Oh.
I believe you'll have more influencers than anybody else.
I didn't even know there was a creation channel.
Yeah.
I was made it. I was made in the 1980s. Yeah. Let's see here. I just share it. That's all I do. Just copy, paste, and share it. Oh, hey, there we are.
Yes.
Shared. We shared it on main mom server or no? Or yeah.
Share it everywhere.
I did Shroom room.
Okay. I got mine too. My two are done.
I also put it on our advertisement on our Discord, so I am looking at the chat. Everything looks good, so I am going to wait a little bit, maybe give it about 3 minutes if we're good with that. Everybody good with that?
Yeah,
sir.
Okay. I mean, I guess instead of just sitting here in silence for 3 minutes, we're just gonna go through. We'll just chit-chat, as normal. We're gonna be here. We're gonna have fun, right?
Well, if we're gonna be here and we're gonna have fun, I don't know why, Max, you and Matsu keep hitting myself and Giraffic repeatedly in the Shrooming tournament. What is this? We're like 90th now.
It's not intentional, and I'll let you know this. Him and I, we both hit you at the same time this morning or this afternoon. It was not intentional, I swear to God. It was just good. I don't know. It's just funny.
I mean, I hit you guys too, so.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I mean, I'm not looking for. How do you even see who hit you? Because I only see who I hit.
Under record?
Yeah, but I looked there and I only see the ones we did.
That means no one's hitting you.
Okay. So
really?
Yeah.
I'm looking.
What?
I'm looking. We do have a few people in chat, so maybe we should just kick it off at this point. So this is our first live stream under Shroom Chronicles. We are doing face cams. Special guests, they can or cannot. It is completely up to them if they want to do face cam. We are welcoming BoringWU. BoringWU is our #1 player and the Amen server, and I'm happy to bring him along with us on this adventure and being part of our first podcast. I think it's phenomenal. I think it's great. So let's start it off. Since this is our first podcast, I want to shout out Nylock, our production manager, for being here with us. He is behind the scenes. He's doing a lot of work. He's coaching us along the way, and he's been a huge help. Absolutely, so much love to him.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And then, of course, I'm going to start off with 8 Wide. She is the knowledge of our channel. She knows a lot of information about this game. She's able to put out all the information for you guys. And then, of course, Big Head. Can't forget the Big Head. Over there. Oh, this way.
I'm actually going to yield my catchphrase because I am in the presence of the myth, the legend, and the god today. So I yield to you, Grandmaster.
I applaud that. That is phenomenal. I'm so glad. Yes, I'm glad that you can keep your big head in check today. So our special guest is BoringWU. BoringWU, I would like to introduce you. I'm going to start off with a simple question. Introduce yourself. Your server name, where you came from, how you started the game.
Hey guys, I'm not sure it's morning or evening on your side. I think it's good evening, guys. And thank you for having me in the podcast. Special thanks to Crush for having me in the Discord server, and thank you for organizing everything. Max and Analog, and also AY. And we're still contesting each other in a parkour. And so just a little bit about myself. So I started this game by clicking into the ad link that linked me to downloading the link, downloading the game. That's how I started. Basically, I think it's pretty normal, same as the majority of you guys. So I started on AMN 94 and then got two mergers merged into 39, which is another deck server. But now I'm going to merge into AMN 21, which I'm pretty happy with it. They got a pretty good amount of the strong players, and they are very, very active and very committed to the game. So we have won the majority of the cross-server events since then, and everyone get along with each other.
Nice.
I think that concludes my Shroom career so far.
Very well. Very good. So, we'll kick this off as well. Besides your introduction here, I do want to kick this off a little bit. How did you find this game? Was it through advertisement? Was it because you had it set on your Google or your Apple to be able to play the game as soon as it was released?
I have to say this is from a pure accident. So I clicked into a link that directed me to downloading of the Legend of Mushroom, and that's exactly how I started. So it's not really being introduced by anybody else. It just happened to download the game like a couple of days before after it's launched. So yeah.
Okay. My next question is, throughout your time playing this game, obviously you're number one in our server, being Amen. What friends have you made? Have you made a lot of friends throughout the process?
Sorry, just give me 1 second. I'm changing my headphones, sorry.
Okay, no problem.
Getting ready to smash parking lots. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it is that time.
No way to do that.
No, their server is very strong. 1021. They're very active and very strong. People think 1024. Yeah. Who else is there? PJ, JHot, ASU, Luna. Yeah, they're very active.
Yeah.
People think. Yeah, they think 1024 is sweaty. They haven't battled 1021.
Can you pull him in again? He said.
Yep.
There we go.
There we go.
There you go.
Welcome back, BoringWU.
JHot was talking in the Mages server earlier. So, oh gosh, well, they were partners in a Shroomy tournament once too, so that makes sense. So they all know each other. Well, all of you OGs know each other. Anyway, sorry, Max. Go ahead.
No problem. So Boring.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, the headphone just dead. What was the question before I drop out, Max?
I was asking you, how did you find the game, and you said that you accidentally clicked on a link.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah.
Then you asked about friends next.
I'm sorry. Yeah, you're correct. We already answered that. So I did ask you throughout your time playing the game, what friends did you make through cross server? Through the parking wars and everything else. Like, did you make good friends? Was it worth making friends over the time of playing the game?
It's definitely worth making friends while playing the game, and I gotta say, I did make a very good amount of good friends. Like we still like rivalries, like we contest against each other, but like nothing harmful, just like some love taps. And so I think I start with Moose. I think he is the first like a big player that actually he approached to me before the first tourney. He said, "Hey, do you wanna team out for the tournament?" I was like, "Oh yeah, why not?" Because I was quite surprised when he came to me at first. So that's how we get along, get it connected, and then what I do. I think I faced A-White on my second, what's that called? A showdown. Yeah, that's what showdown. That was back in when she was back in AM 91. I think that was your first server. Yeah, A-White and Code.
Yeah, we were neighbors. Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty close to each other, basically. Yeah, and then met Holo from Amen like 80. That was when he first started, and I also paired Holo for the second tournament, and we did win the championship back then. Yeah, I'll just try to think of all the names. Basically, I have pretty good connection with A-White server and Holo server. I was quite jealous when they got merged together for the first time. I was like, why am I not on the list? Because my server is always at that server until the second merge happens. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good merge. Why were you surprised that Moose came to you to partner for the tournament? I mean, I thought it would be pretty obvious. I mean, you were the number 1 and number 2 players. So why were you surprised?
Because I just consider myself as a lone wolf. I'm not really in many of the Discord servers, which one reason is like I don't really like to be disturbed, and the other reason is I'm just not interested in the topics they covered, basically. So I'm only in the official Discord server, and then this server Crush invited me, and that was the other server. Is my friend's server that I made in cross server as well. That's basically it. And so when Moose comes, because Moose is always the one that trying to beat me up in the arena, crossover arena, basically. And I was trying to do the same thing back to him. So I thought he maybe won some competitions like against one another, not like just like make a cakewalk and then just win the tournament. So yeah, that's why I was surprised. And that's also a thing that I'm trying to do all the time. Like if you look into my tournament history, I think Moose is the only player that I did pair for multiple times before he quits. And other than that, I did pair with Holo, Jay, and Cookie, Jay Hottie, and so 4 other different players. And I'm pairing with Shroom from 1250 this season. And I will be pairing with another new player for the next season. It's already lined up on my waiting list. So yeah, I like to try with pairing with different players and try different combinations to see how things work out. And so that is also the reason why I'll be like win some and then lose some. So yeah, just don't put all your eggs in one basket. So you may lose your betting cards. Just saying that.
Good to know.
Good to know.
Yeah. He cost me a lot. He cost me a lot of coins two tournaments ago.
Well, my apologies. Last season, I actually have a good reason why I lose. It's because the resistant nerf definitely. J-Hot, she already had like 40% of ignore combo and 99% of the combo resistance. and she's still like melted like in 4 seconds. So that's nothing much to do. That's nothing much I can do about it. Yeah.
No,
But two things they reverted. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a terrible update.
Agreed.
That was your favorite update of all time, 8? What are you talking about? I had to. There's one thing you said there, Wu. You're not in many servers because you don't like being disturbed, and it made me do one of these in shame because that's all I did. I was asking around for some people that I had questions for, and it was actually Crusher right here. It was like, just ask Wu, and I was like, I'm not gonna bother Wu, and but I did anyway, and I'm glad that I did. Thanks for helping me. But I don't like being counted among those that disturb you, so I'll try to dial it down a little. I did have one question for you. Well, more than one, but one. So, you're the top player in our region. Everybody that plays this game in Amen servers, anyone in South America, and anyone anywhere knows who BoringWU is. Like, how many random messages do you get a day, if you don't mind me asking? Like, just from people you've never heard of. They're not like what I did, where I was like, "Hey, Crusher told me I should message you." Like, nothing like that at all. Just completely random messages.
Well, as a matter of fact, you might be surprised with the answer. I actually do not get many private messages every day. It only comes when they get hurt by me unintentionally. Like when I lose the tournament, I'll get some hate mails in my message. But from time to time,
it wasn't me.
Yeah, I think it's only probably a couple of dozen people that actually reached out to me and asked me questions. I mean, overall, only a couple dozen. I think that's it.
I would like.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to add. I would like to say, don't feel bad for contacting him because he pocket dialed me at 6:30 in the morning, a couple of weeks ago. Yep, and I was going to answer, and then he hung up. So, what would we have talked about if I answered when you pocket dialed me at 6:30 in the morning?
You probably wouldn't hear anything because I didn't even realize I was pocket dialing you.
That Discord ring is a horrible noise. It woke me right up.
I probably just happened to open my Discord and checking a message and put back in my pocket without like closing the screen, and shit happens, you know?
Yeah. I was looking at it and I go, I thought it was Hollow because he was notorious for pocket dialing the entire group. At like 2:30 in the morning, it would just ring and it was always Hollow. So I thought maybe, it's probably Hollow. No. Oh my goodness. Well, all right. I went to answer and you'd already hung up. Yeah. So don't feel bad, Nylock.
All right.
So it seems like real quick. It seems like a lot of people were like Nylock then and intimidated to message you. But for me, I'm curious. While we had on the subject a little bit, were you like always at the top, or like how long did it take you to figure out the game? Was there like back and forth between other players, or you just skyrocketed to the top and you just stayed there?
I don't think I start as a top player, so I have my own pace for playing the game, so I always keeping that pace, and so I think I'm one of the most consistent player of the game. That is always because I'm still quite surprised that no one has surpassed me like for this amount of time, because I'm not really the biggest fan, and there's like at least a handful of players that's really spent way more than me. I know Vegas, he spent a lot, and Moose, he quits, and a few others like Divinity and Fluffy. I think else they are on Fanboy, yeah. Like Ving, yeah, and Ving. So those players, they spend way more than me, but they are just not being consistent. That is why I just by being consistent, I just stand out over time, basically. Because when I first meet these big boys, they are basically like a 10 or 15 mil above my power range. But those guys, I would say, they are just big spenders. They don't know how to build their characters, and I always end up beating them. Like when I first meet Flavi in a cross server arena, I think I was like 30 mil and he was 40 mil, and I still beat him. And then the second day when the cross server arena opens, he hit me, lost, and when I hit him back, he already changed his name to goodbye and he quit. So I mean, we got all these big players, but they range quit in the early game, so we just like losing all these big spenders over time. So it makes me stand out.
Yeah, that first month there were quite a few spenders. Like Chief B from server 1, you had Vin, you had Femboy. There were a lot of whales early on, but you've always been right near the top. And
yeah,
they
I
quit.
was like close to them, but they just quit. Yeah, I was close to them, but not like at the top. And even after they quit, and then Moose, he stands out. So I'm always like not close, but not at the top. And then, but once every other big players like they step out, and then I'm the one left, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, server 2 lost quite a few whales after they didn't get a merge. I think that's Divinity. Oh no, that was 14. Trogdor. A lot of them they just quit.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but I just realized that was another question there. So, like in regards to how I build my characters, I do follow some of the YouTubers, but not really. They already quit anyways. So, but they did give me a huge help to start with the games, and so basically, I'll just follow their footsteps and to build up my character. And they are archer players, and I think I did made a very good choice. And when I first started again, so I stayed archer until I pretty much kept all my PvE dungeons, and also I think the Dark Trail was the most essential one that really affects your real combat power a lot. The talent tree, the talent system is a huge factor in the battles, especially in PvP. And so, especially if any new players is listening to the podcast, I would highly recommend you, regardless which class that you prefer to play. Like you can play all sorts of class you want. You can play a tamer, you can play a mag, or you can play a warrior. If that's your favorite, that's fine. But stay archer until because that archer is like undoubtedly the king of the PvE. So stay archer until at least after you finish, like, kept up the Dark Trail before you switch to other classes. Because the earlier you kept up the Dark Trail, and the earlier you can get the max amount of the red feathers to build up your talent tree. And so the earlier you can build up the advantage, and this advantage will snowball over time.
Sid, that's vital information. Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. That's very vital information, because when we first started, we didn't have that information. We're from the 1470s, and Nylok is from the 1480s. We didn't have that kind of information at all, to be honest. So, with you giving that kind of like little tidbit there, that tip will probably help a lot of players over time progress in this game.
And I think everyone would agree here that the lifeblood of this game are red feathers for the talent tree and lamps for your gear. Lamps, red feathers. If there's anything else to add, to me, that's the simplest way to just keep making consistent, steady progress.
Yeah, and I made that mistake. I've always been a warrior. I didn't switch to archer to cap the Dark Trial, so I am a little behind on the red feathers. So I mean, it is he's not wrong. Switch to archer and just plow through them, and then go back to whatever class you want to play. Don't make the same mistake I did.
And speaking of classes, 8Wide's a warrior, Max is a warrior, Crush is a warrior, I'm a prophet. I switched to archer for PvE, pushing levels and stuff at times, but BoringWU, I've seen you as Plume, I've seen you as prophet. I'm pretty sure you have, tamer stuff, but why no warrior?
That's a very good question, Alok. And don't get me wrong, Warrior, I think we the recent meta of and we have a very very strong Warrior build that you need like a punch counter, no speed, and a honeybee, and all sorts of like a tank type of skills that really helps you to excel in the legendary league. I think it's not just recently being promoted because I think this kind of build is being out there for a while, until recently being recognized by more players and more players start using it. But back when I first started, I like to try different things, and that also explains why I played Archer, a Plum, and a Secret Hunter. And I tried Dark Lord, I tried Prophet, and also tried the Beastmaster. As a matter of fact, I did try the Warrior. I did try both of the classes on the Warrior category when I first started, out of curiosity. I just didn't really get very good outcomes for playing it. So, because back then I wasn't one of the biggest while when I first started. So there's like players like way high above me, being from MM2, Divinity from MM14. Those players like they all like 10 or 15 mils above me back then, and so I could still beat them while I was playing Archer. However, when I switched to Warrior, it always gave me unsatisfactory outcome, and that is why I stopped playing Warrior. And also, being a player that started off in a dead server, so we have a very very limited active players, and so that do require me to carry a hell lot of debuffs to help the server to win the server versus server content, such as the Park War and the Family Brawl. So being a Warrior, that doesn't really help me to achieve that. Normally when it goes up to maybe 6 or 7 debuffs, I start like doing 0 or 1 damage to a place like close to my power range. However, if I stayed in Archer, I could still like beating through the entire lot with like no stress. So pretty much no sweat. And AUI can pretty much relate to that, yes.
Yeah, he's not lying. I've been victim to that. Yeah. He's not lying. It's terrible. Watching him go through 20 people, including Hollow, me, Code, just walking through the lots. Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks for keeping them up for us.
Yeah. Oh wait, what did you say? I missed it.
Thanks for keeping them up for them. Thanks for keeping
Yeah,
them up.
yeah. Just
because no one else could take it.
Yeah. Just want to make sure. Just boost those plunder numbers. What do you have? 200 plunders already?
Nah, for real?
Oh, it's a lot. Yeah. Yeah.
I did slow down, and normally I try hard early in the week to like try to widen the gap and just build some advantage, and then I'll go easy on the weekend because I want to relax and I want to give you guys a break also. So yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. He let us park for 6 hours today.
What a nice guy.
It's always tough going against them, though. I mean, he got a good. They're very active. I mean, they're just an active server, and they work together very well. So they're just tough. That's it.
So I'm gonna ask you this question as a personal thing. What do you think of this Cheetah, quote unquote, meta right now? Are you opposed to the Cheetah, or are you happy with the Cheetah?
To answer that question, I think it is situational. It really depends what build you are using at the moment, and also what play style do you prefer as a player. And so basically, Cheetah would be a very, I mean, it sounds like Cheetah anyways, and so it would be a very, very good mount for Archer players. Like any battle that finished within 20 seconds, Cheetah would be one of the top mount that you could use. and also for any fragile build like the glass cannon build, you would definitely go with Cheetah as your first option. However, if you go with a store build, Cheetah basically does nothing to you because these all these buffs that they only triggers by the time your health bar hits 0. So if your health bar is full, Cheetah is basically like a decoration. It's not gonna trigger. It's not gonna help you to boost your stat anyways. So it's terrible for the store build, but really good for I would say good for Archer to use. Good for Beastmaster to use. Beastmaster is like Archer's own stereotype, basically. Oh, it's like a cheating class, to be honest. I'm really surprised. At this moment, we only have like Zico. He's the one that excels in Beastmaster, and I think we got a couple others. Can't really remember the names though. They found like 1,200 servers, I think, the Beastmasters. But they are coming up like. They're getting my attention basically because they constantly like jumping to top 10 in legendary league. So because I'm only hitting the top 10 basically, and I'm quite surprised that that's only limited amount of the Beastmaster players at this moment. I think it's mainly because the level of the poll is not really high enough for them to do the switch because in other region, like in China region, they did a statistics like recently, like last month. So for players who finished the top 50 in Legendary League, they had like 18 players as a Beastmaster. So it's nearly half of them.
Wow.
Really good class. Yeah, really good class to excel actually, because they will not be affected by any sort of debuffs. Disarm does not work on them. They can disarm you and they can just beat you to that before your disarm even finished. That's what happens to between Zico and me when they did the bloody rest nerf. So I can't even survive until my disarm finish before he like beat me to death. But I'm very very glad that that's been reverted. But anyways, to conclude, the Cheetah, I mean, it's a good mount, but I would say it's a game changer. It's absolutely one of the best mount that you could use, especially in 2v2 tournaments, because everyone wanna kill each other fast. In 2v2, I would say it's not one off. It's the best mount that you could use in 2v2, definitely. But if it's 1v1, it really depends what build you're gonna use. Yep, that's my answer.
Okay, very good.
Do you have favorite mounts and favorite mounts or artifacts, back pieces, any of these that stand out that you just love using?
Oh yeah, I do have quite a few that I use from time to time actually, but really depends what class I'm playing. Like for now, I'm playing Prohead. Yeah, I'm playing Prohead. I would use the Cloud, but you gotta have like 5-star Cloud to start with, basically. The Cloud that gives you like 30% attack buff after the battle started. That's actually really huge. It serves you as a separate multiplier. It's basically whatever you have here times 1.3. So it's a really really strong mount to use for archers. Oh, sorry, it's not archers, for Prohead against any sort of store build. Also, I like to use the alien back as a Prohead because basically my stats is like double or triple others, and so I normally finish the game before the timer is up, normally within 30 seconds, and so alien back is pretty much one of my top options. Sometimes I would use a fan, like a shell fan, and also I would use the Dark Umbrella because I had that 5-star, which I regret, but I still use it from time to time. And yeah, I mean, it's a bad choice, but they did nerf the Umbrella because when it first came out, it gives you like 40% HP shield, and then they changed that to 40% defense, and I was pretty upset about that actually. I still remember that. And I think I did talk about the mounts and I talked about the artifacts already. Artifacts. So it's all again. It's already depends on the length of the battle. If the battle is like within 30 seconds, torch is your best option. Like not one off is your best option. If the battle goes beyond 30 seconds, you could try use like PP gun. I'm not sure if you guys got that collaboration in 1400. Oh,
I did
damn.
not.
All right, bad luck. Or you could try what's it? Trident. The Trident is good. A second option. It summons.
Someone's
sea creature like every 14 seconds. It just helps you to tank some damage while you were dishing out, while you were waiting for your CD cooldown to finish. It just helps to tank up a little bit. Another one. What like a dome under what name that was?
Yeah, under
the dome. Yeah.
Gun. Yeah. That's the only
That
thing
one's good.
really. Yeah.
Yeah, that one is actually good when you have like lots of debuffs, like especially in the family brawl. I did use that to beat like another 100 mil players because he can't heal his clone that I summoned for the first 3 seconds. That gave me a chance to like quickly kill him after the shotgun. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, for those of us that don't have Pepe and didn't get Trident when it came out, Alien Gun or Under the Dome, I like using that against stronger players. I'm like 96 million right now. Anyone that's 100 or above, I switch to that because it's just harder for them to kill that copy of themselves. If I use that against a weaker player, it's useless, right? So, okay.
Yeah, basically, yes.
Do you like the new time machine?
The new time machine is not really good design for Pro Hit. But I would say I've seen strong warriors I'm pretty sure Cole is using it, and that makes him really tank for the first 20 seconds. And Zico, I think he's still using it if you try to practice him in cross server. I'm pretty sure he has that time machine on at all times, and that does help him. Basically, I think Concrete and myself would be the only two that be able to kill him while he was having that not using. Maybe Vegas as well. Really strong bounce. If you're paired with Alien, that provides you nearly 60% of the damage reduction for the first 20 seconds. So you wouldn't be scared of like Cheetah users. Like when Cheetah triggers, the lethal damage probably only takes you can only really scratch you if you have that high amount of the damage resistance. So I think it's Dawnbow. It's one of the viable option if you pair with Alien, and you gotta make sure you finish the battle before that buff disappear, like 20 seconds. But for store build, I wouldn't recommend using that. So don't use that in the park mode. It's not gonna help.
It's definitely a good for a DPS warrior. Definitely, yeah. Code uses it. I would like to point out that Wu attacked me today in cross server and killed me in 12 seconds.
Me?
Yeah. You attacked me. Yeah. No, you attacked me in my regen build with like 950 billion health and. Yeah, and you killed me in 12 seconds. Yeah.
Did you check Did you check yesterday's replay? I killed you in one shot.
Oh, I survived. No, I didn't. I just no. I'll have to go back and watch it. I got pre-blitz. Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if I was wearing my regen set yesterday. I switched it for brawl against wet, so I put on my regen for yesterday. I'll have to check it though.
Just gotta scroll down.
That's so embarrassing.
It's okay. I will request one thing from you, BoringWU. If you can DM me a video of you beating Crusher. He's from 1474, soon to be 1473. If you can just send me a video of you beating him so I can make it into a collaboration. So I can post it on our YouTube channel of everybody killing him.
just be a one. a one shot.
Absolutely, please.
No, it's
yeah.
not. I've challenged him before. It's not a one shot. It is not a one shot.
Depends what build I use. In CrossFit Arena for defense, I use a pretty balanced build. So, because I got to defend, it's not only about attack. But if you wanna just put whatever the tankiest build that you ever have on, I can do a quick practice with you, and I can record that one. Because I've already used up all my hits in CrossFit Arena. Or you can wait for next day, yeah. One or the other.
Yeah, I don't like my regen. I'll just use my DPS build because it's pretty tanky as well. I use the time machine.
Yeah,
I mean,
just
what's the rush? Make it official. Like, just hit him tomorrow in crossover. Just make it official.
Yeah.
All right, it's all set for you. You demolish me.
I don't think with time machine it's gonna be hard, but I'll give it a go.
I like hearing that though. I do enjoy hearing that.
Woo, is there anybody left? Okay.
Sorry. Yeah.
I was gonna say,
Go ahead.
is there anybody left? Is there anybody left from server 94 that you started with, or are you the only one left from 94?
My current partner, Doc, he started same time with me, and I got a few others, but they are in wet family, not in the family I'm currently in. So just few of us. Yeah.
Do you ever
Yeah,
make
I
ults in
remember,
younger servers? Oh, sorry.
What was it? Sorry.
I had asked if you ever made ults in younger servers, or is it just your main?
I did make ults in younger servers, but it's not for like changing the environment. It's for the Shroom for me to get the new decors and stuff. But it's only out that apply to getting the votes and stuff. Yeah, I think AY did that. AY did the same thing.
Yeah, get that crab gun.
Yeah, exactly. What's your rank, Crush? I'm trying to find you.
Oh, and Cross Arena?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have been generous and not attacking me. I'm 14 right now.
Shit, I've been scrolling too far down. Sorry.
Yeah, underestimating me. Thank you. On Mondays, I like to keep your seat warm because for some reason no one likes to attack Monday, so I always end up in first place. But I always like to say I'm keeping it warm for you, sir.
Here we go. I'm sorry, I'm gonna cut you off real quick. This is where the big head comes in. Please shut it the fuck down. Pardon my language, but please shut it the fuck down.
He's been doing so well today, though. We got him. That was like the tamest crush we've seen so far, and it's already getting shut down.
I'm shut it down right away.
I'm not gonna lie. I felt a little left out during this most recent discussion. Max and I aren't in Legendary Champion. We're lowly elites. The level below the top, right? And Crush is number 14. Woo, of course, is number 1. 8. I don't know what number you are, but you could be higher than Crush if you felt like it.
No, she definitely is.
Absolutely, she definitely can.
Is. Sorry. Yeah. But yeah, I was sitting over here like this. Legendary players over here.
The strategy, right? You just need to save your tokens till you have 100, and then attack all the lower, and you'll guarantee to go to legendary.
Yeah, I meant like 24, I think. It was only recently I figured out that I can do no hits and be completely fine in elite, and I was like, "Well, I spend all my tickets just for 5 cross points. Who cares for the shop? Doesn't matter." Actually, yeah, that's a good question. Woo, do you have for all the people moving up in Cross Arena? Do you have people whose main focus is PvP, whether that's Family Brawl or whether that's cross server parking or Cross Arena itself? Do you have any tips for just solid good progress, or how to get ahead, how to move up a little bit, anything like that? It's a difficult question.
It's to be honest, I'm not the best person to ask that type of questions because like promoting in CrossFit Arena, it just feels like it's a long time ago. Because I always end up finishing like first or second in crossover arena, even back in while I was a juvenile. So I never had a problem with that. But just from my observation, but don't quote me on that. Just from my observation, I think the stall build is one of the most promising build that you could use in crossover arena. But just like don't just like a B tank. You have to use being tank only. That people have multiple ways to counter that. You really have to have a artifact like a PP gun or under the dome or trident to actually distract your opponent, either their skills or their Caesar artifact, because the Caesar artifact could actually surprise your healing. So if you have something that's summoned during the battle, so they wouldn't be able to hit your main character, so you'll still be able to regen your HP like normally. And so those kind of things, and try to use double cactus, take it slow, easy breezy, and also the disarm plus the PP gun plus the spaceship mounts. What kind of artifact you would use? Can't really recall a good artifact. Probably just use any kind of like skill region artifacts. The back piece. That will help you to survive most of the battles if you guys are close in power range from one another. And for attacking, you just basically find a glass cannon build and finding whoever you can beat if you're trying to promote. But if you're just trying to have fun, try whoever you think is challenging. So it's one or another. People have different mindset, different strategy in PvP. So just find a way that suits your playstyle.
Nice.
I think for the regen build for the back, I would say either the red wings or the duck umbrella I've been fiddling around with lately, and I really like the duck. I don't know if do you guys have the ducks?
We do have the ducks and the 1400s, but we do not have Pepe. I think that was the only major event we missed out on.
Yeah, I use the Pepe gun, but the red wings are good for the back, and the umbrella. I really, because you want to last long. You don't want to, with the alien back, you survive. You have a lot of extra resistances in the beginning, but you're trying to survive the full 2 minutes, so you really want the tail end of the fight to be boosted. So
1489, where I'm at currently, started in 490. We didn't get the duck event, but we got ducks in our first merge. We don't have we didn't have Pepe, obviously. So yeah, I don't even have Shell Shade, the fan. We didn't have access to that. I'll get it in the second merge event. So I'm like foaming, chomping at the bit. I'll be getting that, in 2 days, but yeah. So a little more difficult.
I think you guys are missing a lot of the good stuff.
Yeah. That's okay though. We find our ways. Like 8 always says, use what you can. Whatever you have, make it work. That's what we do.
Is that new artifact any good? The one that it gives you a shield, but ignoring the PB reduction. Is that any decent? I didn't play with it too much.
Which artifact? Which artifact is it?
It came out with the New Year's event.
With the green skin.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's trash. Don't use it. I tried to compare that one because people are saying it's good for archers. So while I was archer, I tried to compare that one with the beast ball. It's uncomparable. Beast ball is so much better. The amount of the AOE damage that triggered within that few seconds is more promising than you waiting for 3 seconds to do a bomb damage, like close to a cheetah damage, and that can't even guarantee to kill the entire HP bar of your opponent. So don't use that. Just consider that as a decoration, a base stat buffer sort of thing, but don't use it. It's a trash. It's just a trash. Absolutely.
Thank you. Good to know.
Heard it. It's a trash.
You heard it
I
here.
think I didn't get it.
It's trash.
It's Paperweight
Yep.
for the deaths.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be much that beats the bow in terms of DPS. It's going to take quite a weapon to really beat the bow.
Something that would probably be better than the bow at 5-star will beat that weapon.
Yeah.
So, I'm gonna go a little off topic here with you, Will. What is your Discord picture? Where is the character from? What anime? What manga? Or
Attack on Titan.
Okay. Now, can you which character? What's the character name? And what's the background? How do you compare it to it?
It's Alan. Attack on Titan. Alan is the main character in that anime. It's just one of my favorite animation. I mean, before they finish, because it was really good until the very end. It's a little bit disappointing. But it's from my other game profile picture. Basically, I just use it for this game. I mean, for my Discord, because we had an anime themed profile picture for one of the server event while I was playing other games. So they made this for me, so I just keep using it. Nothing special.
Oh.
And I watched the anime and I liked it, so I used it.
Do you have any other favorite anime or manga other than Attack on Titan?
Oh yeah, I did. I'm still watching One Piece from time to time from high school. I mean, it's been over 15, 16 years, and I mean, it's still there.
Still going.
It's like a lifetime one. Yeah, it's like lifetime animation.
Okay. Bleach. Yeah. Any of the newer stuff? Like, did you catch JJK or My Hero? Any of that shonen stuff or no?
Not yet. I'm a little bit old school.
Cool. All right, I can dig it. Yeah, One Piece is in a good spot. I like where One Piece is at right now. I read that week to week. It's good.
Okay, I'm gonna go on to this point. 8Y, do you have any questions for our special guest, BoringWU?
Oh yeah, I sure do. This is a request from the girls, all of the girls that played Legend of Mushroom. So you've come into contact and you've played with a lot of the girls in the game. Who is your favorite girl player, and why is it Susan?
I'm a bit confused with who is Susan?
Uh-oh.
No. Oh, you hear that, Susan? No, Susan's Mac from server 4, Mac. Yeah. They wanted to know who your favorite female to play with in the game is, and I told them I would ask you, why is it Susan? It's Mac.
I don't know. It seems this question is a little bit out of the blue. I have no idea that Susan's my favorite female player until you just said that.
She's probably not, but I was just wondering. I mean, she seems to be everybody's favorite. She's everywhere. I can't wait until she sees this, and she, you have no idea who she is. I can't wait.
We'll have to get her on here and get her reaction.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
we gotta
I can't wait
this.
I can't wait to tell her.
All right.
That's all. That's all I had. Yeah, I had to ask for the girls.
Okay. All right. So the question from the big head, which is Crusher. Everybody knows the big head. I'm gonna make it very apparent real quick. Sorry, big head. I'm glad your ego is so fucking deflated. This podcast, it makes me happy. It is so phenomenal. Thank you, BoringWU, for coming onto this podcast and deflating this kid's fucking ego. So anyhow, Crusher, what is your question for the BoringWU?
I have lots of questions. What you have? So do you have accounts on any other regions, or is it just Amen?
Just Amen. Amen only. Mm-hmm.
Do you have like insight from these other servers? Like, I mean, we're curious. Like, what's the meta like on the other ones? Like, who are the top players on these others? Like, are we the better region out of everyone? or is it hands down C because they're more competitive?
I've only got insights from the Chinese region servers. They play on WeChat basically as like little programmer. So they do have, I mean, at least a handful of 300 mil players. These guys, they pretty rich as fuck basically. They could like 10-star all the new mounts, artifacts like easily for every single event. I mean, their scores like in a rank is like normally 20k or plus, and that's a price to like 10-star everything basically. Yeah, so I mean, to me, these just numbers. I think we're sort of like getting into that stage as well. Like it's start becoming a number game when you like max out everything. Like for myself, I've already maxed out the main storage pushing. Miracle 10 to 10. It's the last PV stage from main story. I've already maxed out all the PV dungeons by far. Grumpy had accepted because I was by myself, so it's a little bit tough for me. Yeah, so to stay competitive, it's basically just grabbing all the available skin that's coming out and having a better stats. Just keep building it up. That's basically my state of the game at this moment. It's nothing new, nothing exciting. Still got a few in my tank, so I could still keep going. But I also have some like leaks of the new dungeons, new events from other regions. I think it might come out during the Chinese New Year or probably in February. And so what I heard is they will be taking off the Grumpy head, like permanently, and replacing that with another family event that requires like 4 people to work together. Like every 4 people, I mean, not just only 4. So it's like 4 people assemble a team and you work together. It's called like I think it's called a Snowfield Rescue, something like that. It's from direct translation. Could be called something different. But I'm looking forward to it. And they will be adding another trail, like a Gods of Trail, or like a Trail of Gods, something like that, to add more items to give you like a bit of a more gameplay in the next month also. So looking forward to that. But for now, it's basically just I do like just do everything I used to do on a daily basis. Sand mode every day.
Right. And 2 things real quick for our viewers. If you don't know, to 10-star something, you need 30 copies of it to give you an idea of how much is being spent. Follow-up question. You said you maxed out the Miracle 10 as the last stage. Like, what does it show? Does it just the guy just stand there tired, or what does it look like at the end?
I could attach a funny bit that I recorded when I first finished. I think that's a little bit glitchy. It's already been fixed. Now it's just like after beating all the mobs, it just restart over and over. But when I first finished it, it's kind of funny. Like, so I walk through the boss, like as if I'm walking into the next stage, and then I'll be having my face like looking backward and nothing behind me or nothing in front of me, and I'll be like like clicking on the screen and nothing shows up. But I can attach that video in the channel once we finished. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a really great like mental image, also, especially fitting for a Wu, where he's just kind of like
something like that. Except I can't really turn my head back, but it's facing the other way. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That reminds me of the John Travolta meme where he's like.
Yeah, no, that's great. So is that like your main motivations? You know, we've talked about that on Shroom Chronicles before. You know, to keep going in this game, you have to have, I think, a mix of, 8Wide mentioned the community. I know Crusher and Max feel the same way. You got to have your friends and your communities, your comrades, and so forth. But what would your main motivations be as the top player in Amen?
Well, to start with, definitely trying experience different gameplays and trying to beating all these stages with not just with like a sheer power, but with strategies and trying different builds and those sort of things. Like it's very achieving. Like when you actually succeed by the end. But once everything that you've experienced, then it comes down to having a good community and making friends and such. I think it comes down to every game that I played. So once it passed the time that you stop being curiosity about new stuff, and then what that keeps you in the game is the community.
Gotcha. Nice.
Now I have a question. If you didn't get the merge that you did, I mean, you got an excellent merge. If you merged with some dead servers, would you have continued to keep playing?
I'll probably stop by the time that I finish my PvE if it actually happened. And I mean, yeah, I would say that I'll probably stop by the time I finish the PvE, basically, because there's really nothing else left for me to do at that stage if I didn't get a good server merge.
That makes sense.
The community really makes a difference, you know. I'm happy you got a good merge because you were on what 2 dead servers, you merged and then it died. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, that was really tough times. Yeah.
And
I had
go ahead.
Oh, sorry, real quick. I had that same thought process, but would you have stayed if you had a bad server? Now, my going back to the beginning here, would you have tried warrior harder if there was like a strong warrior presence that was at the top when you first started? You think that would have swayed you any differently?
And that would definitely change my perspective on warriors. And I mean, as a matter of fact, it's already changed a lot because I've got a couple of very good players that's been trying out the newest meta of the warrior build. So and they've succeed in like various aspects, like in parkour and in crossover arena. And so it's already got me interested in doing warrior, but I'm kind of big because I was being slacking on getting my warrior build started, so I didn't even finish my prayers, and I don't really have a no speed and a punch counter honeybee at the moment, so it's a bit tough for me to do the switch. But I would say I'd definitely try that build in the near future, like once I get everything ready. Yeah. I see everyone shaking her head.
Please don't. Please don't. Yeah, no, you don't have to try that one. You can leave that one for everybody else. You don't have to try that one.
Oh, okay.
All right. So since Crusher had the spotlight for a while because he's got such a big head, Nylock, do you have any questions that you want to ask BoringWU?
Oh man, I feel like I've asked so many questions of Wu. Okay. Aside from the fact that the vast majority of the player base of this game is Archer. So if we just kind of ignore that I don't know the percentage, I don't have the data, but let's just say roughly 70% plus, it's probably higher, of the players in this game are Archer. Which class do you think gets the most artifacts, the most back pieces, the most, just the most help overall? Archer has Cheetah, Archer has Panda Bow, and then there's like everything else. But I feel like lately there's been a lot of stuff for Warrior, and I feel as a mage, I'm always going like this. Maybe I could try that. Maybe I could. Am I alone? Is this like just my own subjective opinion, or do you think there's an imbalance in the types of arties and cool stuff that we get in these events? Like mostly Archer, and then Warriors had some goodies lately. But what about Prophet? Is that just me? What are your thoughts?
I do agree with you on some extent, but not all.
Sure.
Like all these artifacts that you mentioned, like the Panaball and the Cheetah, it's not really just particularly designed for archer, it's also been very viable for the warrior players, and Cheetah that for Beastmaster is a very good amount to use for Beastmasters. I mean, if we got more people using it, you're gonna see.
Yeah.
And also the Panel is not only just for the archer players. Like as a pro head or as a Mac player, like if you're trying to clear out the mobs for your daily tasks, I think it'll be very helpful if you have a Panel that's being equipped, so that helps you to clear the mobs really quick. It's just not designed for you for your class to use in PvE. So I would say a lot of the artifacts or the mobs, they are designed to they have some merits in the designs, and they can be used in many places. But we do have some just for the Mac class. I do agree that they are missing one or two very important artifacts or the skins that hasn't been released in our version, but they do release in other regions. Like one of the artifacts that I can recall is he will freeze your enemy for 2 seconds for every 25% of HP drop. So that freeze includes you're not being able to do anything, you're not being able to regen your skill, because your skill will be skill regen will be freezed as well. So that means you got 100% of your HP bar. That means your enemy will be freezed 3 times before you're dead. So that'll be 6 seconds overall. That's the extra 6 seconds you could do something, and change the outcome of the game. That's a very, very good artifact for Mac players, and that also provides you like 10% of the skill critic rate. So, but it's not really released in our region. I mean, that would be a very big game changer for Mac players, 100%. But I think the game itself is actually trying to balance the items that they release. It comes in sort of like a cycle. That's the pattern that I do observe. So, for example, if they release some items that's particularly good for warrior players, so for the next fortnight, they will be releasing something better for archer players, and then Mac players, and then the Tamer players, and so forth. So it comes in a cycle, but it's not perfectly balanced. But I can tell their effort that they're working on it, and also all these class rate balance adjustment. I'm pretty sure there's another one coming up in next month also. So they will be making some adjustments on the class skills, passive skills, and to make it more balanced. So nice. I'm hoping good things happens. Yeah. But the fact that we got the vast majority of players as archer, I would say, if you're looking to the higher rank of the arenas, it's not really dominant by archer players. It's mainly for early stage. You have to be archer to help you walk through the PvE stage. Because that's just the start of a game. Once you've done most of that, and then you can enjoy the class that you really like after. So if you're looking at the higher range of the arenas, I think those starters, they are more accurate. Will be like a more accurate reflection of how the game balance looks like, and with the amount of like the portion of the archer players in the high end arenas, it's not really high, except for like some very big spenders like biggest concretes, living archers all the time basically. But they obviously spend way more than the rest of the player bases. But then that comes down to like a more average size top player. I don't know if it sounds right, like average size top player, but I mean, just you being average in the legendary league, you don't really see many archer players there. Yeah.
I feel, I guess I have just a false perspective. I'm not there like most of you all, but it seems like every time I look at the top 20ish, it's mostly mostly Plume, and then there's like Enel, who's a Prophet, but he's, he has like Archer stats on, or maybe he's just pushing levels. Now that I think about it,
Exactly, because you do need usually Archer gear to do the PVE to complete the dailies, and you got to switch to Archer every once a week and to do the theater,
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. That's what my Wednesday night / Thursdays are. Switch to Archer. Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's all I got.
And the Warriors just recently started to get some event items. We really didn't have anything. I mean, the last artifact that I can really think of that was good for Warriors, besides the Beast Bow, was the Scythe. And it was nice to see some Warrior gear recently, but like Wu said, everything goes in a cycle. So, yeah. It was nice to see. It was nice to get some Warrior gear.
Okay. Everybody else?
I reckon the tiger back, the tiger back is pretty good, for Warriors.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the candle was good for pushing PVE. With
Yeah,
the tiger
100%.
back. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out Itachi for this one because he bust my everything about not getting the candle. So at this point, since we do have a little bit of an audience here, I would like to do a Q&A with the audience. Let's just give an answer to what their questions are, and I'll just kind of pass the questions around as they come. The one I did notice from Dragon King, which I'm not sure what your endgame name is, he said something about hold on, it's collab. It's gonna be a long shot before it gets, because we haven't had a Digimon collab. Wasn't that a SEA collab only?
We had licensing issues for the NA. They couldn't push that out for us. That's why it got canceled.
Right.
That's what I heard.
I don't know if you have any information on that as well, if that was the actual case or not. All right, very good.
I heard they're still proofreading. They're still proofreading.
They're
That's
still
what I heard.
proofreading? Okay.
Proofreading, yeah. Still proofreading. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna go with the chat at this point. Is there anything that you guys want to ask BoringWU, or is there anything that you guys want to ask us?
I do, yeah. Who do you think the final two for the tournament, the two final teams? Anybody have any predictions?
For the Shroom tournament, I'm gonna predict probably BoringWU and his partner, because the Sage looks pretty solid, as we discussed last podcast yesterday, actually. And I'm gonna say the other side would probably be Zico and Concrete, because they've been solid pretty much.
Yeah, I'm gonna call a rematch as well.
I think it's a rematch.
Although Wu is a new teammate, but yeah.
Play safe bets right there.
Oh, Imba and Cam are looking pretty solid too.
Free coupons.
I would say the Concrete team is
right
pretty
there.
safe. It's a safer bet than us, because I'm still at a stage of exploring different combinations of classes to excel in the tournaments. There's I like to try new things, but what Concrete and Zico did in the past, I would say past 3 tournaments, they've won 2 out of 3, and definitely very solid combination and very solid build as well. So I would say between us and them will be like 30-70, with us being 30. yeah. So if you want to bet on their team instead of us, so that will save you save the cost of loss of fortune like last season. That's my honest advice. Yeah, because I've already passed the stage that winning everything. I've already won like 5 out of 8, I think, out of 7 maybe. Is this one season 8?
Yeah.
I think I won 5 champion. Yeah.
Yeah, you're running out of fingers for your championship ring.
I got another 5 here. Yeah, but anyways, I've won with the Archer, with the with Mag, with Prohit, and with Warriors. So I've already tried everything basically, and so for now my mindset is not really like super competitive as those who that still trying to win the championship. So that's why my pairing is a little bit, it's pretty flexible. Like people come to me and say, hey, can we be partners in the future at some stage? I will say, okay. My next available one was like this and that. So we're gonna be pairing for that season. So that's what I've been doing ever since after Moose Creek. So yeah, so my outcome is not really promising for every season. But if Zico and the company they can stay together for every other tournament, I think they are the safest bet for your coins. Yeah.
Jump.
And I actually really admire that even at the top, the testing's not done. Like, you don't stop testing. You don't try to find the next greatest thing. I love that you're just into the science of it all, and you don't give up on it.
That is how I came back from losing side to winning. That I think that was 2 seasons back with Cookie. That was actually one of the most achieving victory that I ever had. Not because winning together with Moose is just like cakewalk, basically 2 of the strongest players and winning everything. But then if you winning together with someone, it's not really like a public known by the vast majority of players, and then that feels more achieving. So that's what I'm trying to do basically. And I do find a very good strategy in that season. I was trying to use the same thing in the last season. I even spoke to AY before my loss. I was coaching those 2 Chinese players how to build, how to beat calm, and then I was like, I should have no problem beating them. And then I was a big slap on my face after I lost. It's most of the rest nerve. Yeah. I basically I was the one that taught them to beat myself. He was one of the Chinese players. He was using the Beastmaster. I was like, I had a very bad experience against the comms team while I was Beastmaster. So try to go with Archer, and he did, and he succeeded. I was like, okay, keep it that way. Until you meet me, but and then I lost as well. So yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, I taught them what to do. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I taught them what to do, but not a beating me part.
All right, so I do have a couple questions generated now in this chat. K-Dog, I know he is from 1667, a newer server. He's asking about the thoughts of the Ghost accessory. His exact quote was this: "Thoughts on the Ghost behind accessories, back accessories in general. If you can give hope for the future of the Bad Shop and future Bad Shop exclusive releases."
The Ghost. You mean the new mount in the shop?
The back piece, yeah.
The Skyrider shop.
Yes, correct.
I think that one is good for PvE actually. If you but that requires you a fair good amount of the red feathers to build up your evasion from the talent tree. So if you can make roughly 180% of the evasion, and then pair that with the that evasion back accessory. That's pretty promising in doing the PvE pushing. Yeah.
Okay. The next following question, which is actually I'm kind of intrigued and interested about, explaining the Shroomy tournament positioning. What is the benefits and what is the cons to that?
I didn't get a question. What exactly question is asking?
The question is
tournaments.
Yeah. So the question is they want an explanation on what is the tournament position. What do you gain from it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The position. So basically, you got 4 squares on the screen. So you got a top row, you got 2 space in the top row, you got 2 space in the bottom row. So it doesn't matter if you're standing at the front or the back. So only the row matters. So say, for example, and if your opponent is all standing on the top row, so only the player that you position on the top row will getting attacked until he die. Same rule goes for the bottom row. So, but however, if you got 2 players standing on the same row, it's 50-50 that you're gonna get hit by your opponent. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
So the front and the back does not matter. It's just the row matters. Yeah, which row you're standing on.
Okay.
But I have a little tip. Just off topic. I have a little tip. So if you're trying to make your debuff work on both of your opponents, you got to be standing at the front, because if you're standing in the back, you might not be able to reach your opponent at the back when you're doing that AOE debuff skills. Because that's the one I noticed from my last failure. I was having J-Hot standing in the back row and with double cactus. I was trying to debuff those 2 Chinese players, like both of them, but then from the replay that I watched over and over again, and because J-Hot was dying a lot more faster than their Mac player, and then so I was like, this does not make sense, because I got a double stats of the other archer that was opposing, and then I would only come up to one conclusion, that it's because their archer was standing in the back row and the J-Hop was standing on the back row as well, so her debuff does not reach the other archer player. That's my only conclusion that I can come out of that replay. And so I would say, if you got some debuffer in your team, put a debuffer in the front instead of at the back.
Okay.
Makes sense.
That's a lot of good information there, to be honest.
Now I would need to change my stuff ASAP. Like I gotta get it with my bird after this,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely,
I had my
Matsu.
hand I was like, all right, you're on camera, but can you do that off camera?
Alright, so I believe I have another person questioning 180%. I think that was the conversation about evasion and without back. I think you get that through talent tree, correct? The evasion? You get to 180%?
majority of it.
Yeah, I think that's the only
You
way.
can't get that far. You get like I think you get like 100% from talent tree, or maybe 120% from talent tree. That's the maximum amount of evasion you can get. 120%. So it's the red area. You can get like 20% each on the 4 branches, and I think on the warrior talent and the tamer talent, you can get another extra 20% each. So that adds up to 120%. That's without help from your equipment. So if you're counting the amount of lead evasion you can get from equipment, you could actually build up your evasion up to maybe 240 or more. Think?
Enchantments as well.
Yeah.
But you don't need that much for PvE. When your evasion hits some certain numbers, you're pretty much like invincible to all the mobs. Like, they're not gonna hit you. You just gotta make enough damage to pass through. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that strategy also works in the Cloud Ascension. If you build up your evasion, you can you can have your tank player to build up a high evasion and standing at the front tanking all the damage, and then you got the archer player standing in the back and dishing all the damage. And that is how I first capped my cloud trial. But now it's a lot easier. You just use like candle plus tiger back and just like cakewalk. But for later servers, you're still at a stage of trying to passing all these different trials and everything. So I think that's a very good strat that you can use.
Okay.
We have a couple
If
players that use it for
if you're not having
grumpy.
candle,
Yeah, we have a couple
Grumpy.
players that use. Yeah, they use the evasion sets for grumpy. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, that's actually new information for me personally. I don't know if Crusher's big head over here has been indulged into that information.
Because that 20% attack, I would think if it works like the same mechanism as the cloud mount, that 20% attack buff should serve you as a separate multiplier. So which means it's direct 20% and not like 20% on top of whatever that you have. So it's actually pretty huge buff.
Okay. Good information. So here is another question. Somebody is asking, Woo, you change classes often. Which one is your favorite for PvP?
Depends if it's 1-on-1 or 2-on-2. So if it's 1-on-1, like for Park War, only if I'm facing like a wide server, a very strong server that I can't really take them out or defend at max debuff, I will switch to Pro Head because that's the most promising class. Very stable. Like I could like tank anyone non-stop at max debuff or hit through any lot.
Yeah, we run a train on him, and he just and he's still full health, just standing there with his green weapon, just.
Other than that, I would like to stay as Archer, either Plum or Secret Hunter. So sometimes I do Secret Hunter, like I said with these guys before in the room before we online. So Secret Hunter is not really like a stepchild if you know how to use it. This class actually carries being capable to carry a good amount of debuffs. Like so, for example, if you with 8 layers of debuff, you would still hit as hard as like having no debuff. That's what I noticed from my previous experience. But for doing that, you have to have a little superior stats compared to whoever is hitting. Not like if you're already losing to someone with no debuff, obviously you're gonna lose at a high debuff.
Right.
But really good class to try if you have a little slightly higher stats than others.
Yeah. Anybody else want to add on to that, or should I go to the next question?
I had 2 questions. Well, it's back to tournaments. When did tournaments start? Because to us, it's new because you have to hit like level 120. Is this a recent thing, or has it always been around?
It's always level 120. You wouldn't be able to see the icon until you reach 120.
So it's been since the beginning of the game, then.
Yep.
No, the tournaments? No, the tournaments?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the Shroomy tournaments?
Correct.
Yeah. Being able to see the tournament, you have to be at 120.
And that was the beginning of times.
No, when did they come out? Maybe like 5 months ago?
Oh, you mean when it started?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we had this is season 8, so I would say it starts on 7 months ago. This is season 8, so 7 months ago.
Let me close to the start. That's pretty close.
It's like once a month. You got three months for the tournament, different stages, and you got a 1 week recess, and then back home.
And then you had a
Second question. Being top player, number one, do the devs or any of the mods like reach out to you and like try to get feedback from you, or they just ignore you?
I think it's pretty fair on everyone. I do have a VIP icon in the game, like every others. So the Starlight, it's basically
Generic.
a bot that's with a lot of flaws, so it only answer your basic questions.
Yeah.
And they do give you a little bit extra if you do a big amount top up daily. Like I think if you do 100, 300, 500, and then they do give you extra gift codes with a little bit of extra rewards, like the empowerment gears, some lamp keys, and like a molten keys, I think.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
frame.
But that's it. I think it's the same as everyone else. I didn't really have any mods or developers to reach out to me with like a personalized survey or anything. No.
That's
Probably try Rudy with that question. I'm not that as a big fan as that's like what think me of. So
for sure.
Okay. And then pro tip for the VIP, if you guys submit and request the codes on both Discord and in-game at the same times, most of the time they'll send you different codes so you can double up with one charge, and then always ask the day after again for the codes, and sometimes they'll give you extra codes bonus, like because you might get a different mod that's answering the question.
You can't
think you didn't
spoil
get it yet.
that.
are you serious? Are you serious?
Yes, sir.
Come on,
Keep
big.
your mouth shut.
Yes,
Oh,
big head.
it-
Shush it.
Is that how you cheat your way through up to the legendary league with the duplicated codes, like a triple others?
Because I only had to spend $1, man, and I got all the way. I just kept waiting for a new mod to come in.
What's wrong
Damn
with
it.
you?
I saw they have the backlog and like record everything. So I say, okay, at least part of the recharge has been claimed, so let's move on. They don't do that?
Sometimes, but you just got to be pressing.
Well,
Interesting.
there goes that spoiler. You done screwed it up for all the VIPs to do about it. Way to go, big head.
You don't have to be
Now we know his
sneaky about it.
secret. We know his secret now.
And they all know your secret. You stop getting out your secrets, man.
Oh.
Remember, you're the
You don't have to.
I still have my
Sneaky
PvP
about it.
secret. I'm still good.
I have a
Ask them
question
for
here
coupons.
from the audience here. It's actually our very own Buttercup. Buttercup, you rule. Yeah, you rule.
we love you, Buttercup.
She's the best. Woo, what are your thoughts on the new avians? I've seen a lot of talk about Magic Kitty. Deity of Purrs is something I've played around with, but I haven't really fooled with any of the others. Do you have any thoughts on the new avians for different classes?
I wouldn't have much input to that question, to be honest, because I myself still struggle with breeding a reasonable good avian that I can replace my current one. Like you might probably notice, I'm still using a pumpkin, but actually, as a matter of fact, I'm working really hard to get a cat to replace it. I'm thinking it would be a very good counter to the PP gun, I would say, because the PP guns, the summons a clone every 12 seconds, and that actually synced with the baddie. It's because of the baddie with all the region speed ups, and normally it comes back every 12-13 seconds, and the baddie always hits on the PP gun, the clones. But if with the help of cat, it helps you to speed up your region. It clears like 2 seconds CD every time it triggers. I think that would actually resolve this problem. But don't quote me on that, because I personally have not yet tried, and until I'm getting, a good one, at least like three good ethics, so for me to replace it. For now, I'm only having like an Infinite Dream and a Barry Dodge. I'm trying to get a third ethics that I can actually replace my current one. But speaking of other new avian, what's the other one? The purple cat. What's the purple cat's name? That
The deity of
similar
Perth, the Asian one.
yeah, it's similar to honeybee. I think that one would be a upgrade of the honeybee. Just like I look at the percentages. Yeah, but again, I wouldn't have much input into that because you would be. I'm not really the best person to ask. You would be like getting more authentic answers from those who that has been already using those new avians, other than me.
Cool.
Okay.
That's all from me. And I don't have any other questions that I can see on my end.
Yep. There is. Wait, why? Do you have any more questions?
No, I'm pretty good.
Okay. And I think there was one more question. Let me scroll up in chat. Somebody named Ness, but I don't believe it's the original Ness that we know. They said they are needing a tutorial on Hunter. Sacred Hunter, I would assume. Couldn't make it work better. Or hold on. I need a tutorial on Hunter. Couldn't make it work on. Make it work better than Plume. Apparently, I can't speak either. So do you
if you're talking about a PvP, like a one-on-one with no debuff on either end, Plum 100% of the time. If you are close in stats and everything, but if you're talking about hitting, say for example, hitting a parking lot at max debuff, and then a secret counter would definitely be a better choice. So it's not really practical for half of the PvP content, the secret counter, but also very, very good for the other half of the PvP content, I would say. So it's not a perfect class. It has flaws, but it also has the merits into it.
Okay. Well, I don't see any more questions, honestly.
I'm sorry. That was a good one.
Yeah, are you reading chat too?
Yeah. You speak like how I type.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's all good. So, I would like to thank everybody who did come out and watch this podcast with us. I think it's phenomenal. I think we are going to go to the next level on things. And I hope that we do draw a bigger audience. And I hope we do have BoringWU. I hope you are enjoying yourself and giving out tips and things like that to be able to help players that are younger than you. You know what I mean? Or even the players around your region or your area. We want to get my goal for this is to get back to the players, and I believe 8 Wide is in my boat on that one. We just want to give back to the players.
Totally.
And Crusher, you're just a big head. I'm not asking you right now. And then Nylok, he is our production manager. He is kind of the one that is giving us the tidbits behind the scenes. Like, let's focus on this. Let's focus on these questions for the special guest Saturdays, which we're going to make a thing here. And BoringWU, I'm 100% happy that you are able to come here and spend your morning with us, since you do live in the opposite side of the world. I'm happy that you were able to join us. You definitely gave everybody good information. It was I'm just very happy, and I'm thankful for that. Do you have any final words that you would like to give to everybody?
I'm just saying, I want to say thank you everyone for watching this, and thank you very much, Max, for organizing it, and thank you, Crush, for inviting me into this conversation. As a senior player, I would say I'm happy to share some of my perspective, especially to new players, if hoping that could be somewhat helpful to them. to help them navigate through a game in the early stage. But I'm also looking forward to seeing the new player growing, and maybe we could be like working together one day in the future. You never know, because judging in the future, like sooner or later. But thank you again, everyone. That's it.
For sure.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. And then I will give the floor to the big head because he's been very calm this afternoon and it's very odd for the rest of us.
He's been so awesome. I seriously like.
So I want to thank our community. I'm looking at chat right now, and a majority of that is our community of crossover. That me and Max and Nylock and everyone around us have been working together to bring together. We were once rivals, we're now friends, and we're soon on Monday we're all going to be family. So it's beautiful to see that transition for all of us, to grow together, come together, put aside our differences, and work together and support each other and bring each other up. I'm looking at chat, and it's from multiple range of servers, from 70s, 60s, 80s, and 90s. Like, it's beautiful to see. It's great that we have a big support, and we always work together every time we merge. Every server we come across, we always extend an invitation, and we'll just keep growing.
Absolutely. And 8Wide, I can't thank you enough for being an addition to this team. You have been very, very, very good. You have excelled us so much further than what we had.
Yeah, it's really nice to just see the newer players and the older players able to get together and there are things that I learn every day, and it's just nice because the in-game environment, our paths don't cross. So
sure.
This has been a really nice opportunity to get to know some of the newer players. For
sure, absolutely. And the other thing is like some of us, we do have alts on the newer servers. Some of us are in the 1667 server, and we're trying to adapt and to come and talk to the 1400s, the 1800s, 1900s, 1600s, and 1600s. You guys are our rivals, but we always keep it friendly for the most part. I will go to the extreme that I normally do on podcast. Actually, I lied. Fuck you, Ron Bomb. So I gotta keep up that persona. No hate against you. It's just a meme at this point. But it's nice for everybody to come out and support us. It's greatly appreciated. We are going to continue these podcasts on a daily at this point, and it's going to be live streamed. And I'm extending this invitation to you, BoringWU. I do hope that you come back again. You have been very insightful for players in our generation and younger generations. You have a lot of information that you can give to us, just like 8Y does. And I hope that you do come back. I've had a good time.
Everyone's had a good time. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have one more. I have one more shout out. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. I'll just say because it's hard to get time organized with everybody else that's online because we are from different time zones. But yeah, I've definitely enjoyed my time this morning. It's already near lunchtime. It's 12:03.
Yep.
And yeah, time goes pretty quick. But yeah, I'm looking forward to maybe come back for once or twice, but not too often because I've only got this much to give. If I'm coming back too often, that's not much for me to deliver either.
For sure. Yep. And then Crusher, you said you had one more thing to give.
Yeah, one more shout out. There's a couple of new lovebirds over there in Berlin, Germany. Some 19-year-olds that found each other by fate. Legend of Mushroom could also be known as Legend of Tinder, but these two, by pure luck, found each other. Same age, same city. It's beautiful. They found each other. It's so romantic. They're gonna be doing puzzles together one day, and I love it. Such a cute story.
Alright, shout out to Snowy on that one.
No, and Jalen.
Yeah. Give round of applause.
Good luck, you two.
It was just nice to be able to get to talk to Wu finally, because we've been facing each other and battling each other now for since the beginning. We had events together right from the get go because we were neighboring servers, so it's actually nice to be able to speak to somebody and realize that there's a person behind the in-game character. So
for sure, and that means a lot.
I've got it too.
yeah.
I was gonna say, I think we are looking to get a lot more upper echelon and older generation of players on here. I think Zico and Concrete are on our radar right now. I know we are having Calm come onto the podcast as well. I believe that should be set up Monday. So on Monday, we will be running the podcast once again, and it will be with Calm, and that is one of 8 Wide's players, I believe. No.
He's from 226.
Okay.
Yeah, Tom is my next partner in tournaments, by the way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There you go.
I faced Calm in ships, so it was a nightmare. He was so sweaty.
You have to explain the story. I love it.
No, we'll talk about it on Monday.
There you go. Very good.
Yeah, so you can hear both sides.
Awesome.
Love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Again, thanks everybody who came out.
Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you so much.
That was
Bye,
awesome.
everybody.
You rule, Woo.
See you in cross server.
Already, I'm
see you
going
across
to
the
Lock
river.
11. You ready?
Oh, he's probably smashing me right now.
Now I'll let you go. I think I'll stop plan this week. I think I'm heading up.
Oh,
Love
thank you. Thank you.
I can only speak for myself, though. I'm not sure about the PJ or J4, but
Oh, well,
try to survive.
just tell them. Tell them how it is.
All right. Thank you everybody.
Adios, man.
Yep.
All right. Bye, guys.
Thank you everybody.
Bye.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you everybody who
Bye.
joined the podcast. Thank you everybody who came out to the chat. 8 Wide already left. Woo already left, but it's all good. Thank you for everything. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for supporting. I will leave a link for the Discord in the chat before I close the stream. Greatly appreciate everybody that has came out. And Nylock, great appreciation for you for being in the background, helping us with everything, generating questions, kind of pushing us to the right direction of where we need to be. You've been a great success and a great partner. We greatly appreciate you. Buttercup, you're I can't thank you enough. The graphics are absolutely phenomenal.
And Max, you rule, since it's just us. And I'm just gonna say it. BoringWU was in Shroomy Chronicles. How sick is that?
Right, not even 10 podcasts in, we had the top player here, which is phenomenal. And I hope that brings more inspiration for the other players to come on here to talk and join us. Even if, like I said, it's optional for players to have your camera on, you don't have to. It's completely up to you. We're all here to have fun and promote and give to the community.
Nice. All right, I am going to hop off because I'm late for my movie night. But have a good one, Max.
Thank you,
Bye,
Nylock. Adios. I guess I'm going to turn this off real quick. Boom. And then let me get I think everybody's in the Discord that's been here anyhow, but I'll still post it. Give me 1 second. Generate, copy. Shout out Akane. Big help. Bear, shout out to you as well.